PS2 is like the widest.
Yeah, exactly. It's
So
the
here
widest stage, and the platforms are also higher, and like someone placed differently on top of that.
So we've got Team Xenoblade versus Team RNG. Here we go. I wonder how this one plays out. You'd think that Ramses and Space are going to be the ones in like the favored team, just because like they're two top players. They've teamed before. They know what they're doing. They're very good at the game. Is Ezrah and Bier are they static, or are they just like teaming because they can?
Oh, I think they just started teaming as for this event specifically, because I know they both love playing doubles, but this is like the first time I see them teaming personally. I haven't really seen them outside of that, but don't quote me on that. I don't really go to the most like weekend events.
You'd imagine that Luigi's a bit worse in doubles just because you don't get your 0 to deaths. You don't have any of that, so you just kind of have to scrap instead, trying to get big hits, big damage.
Well, I think it depends. So it's like, in a way, you can see like this. Game Watch is like the perfect like doubles teammate for Luigi in this case, where to cover him while he's trying to get the 0 to death and combos and all that. Because he can just sit in front, react to whatever the opponent does, and just up B or like Nair or something like to cover Luigi in a 0 to death mate.
I can see that actually.
Yeah.
It's not looking too hot for them at the moment. Bier has lost his first stock. Evening up, Ezra is in like at kill percent, so he has to be very careful here. But it is even. It is even. I should be giving them more credit, you know.
In the meantime, Ramses with the smash are getting the grab, really good read and reaction from him on top of that. And now they're like stock down in comparison to the red team. But the red team has to watch out. Ramses is an 87%, but it's Shulk, so it's going to definitely be a hard time to kill. So he's the great stock tanker here in the process.
I know in singles, brilliant F smash by SpaceNet, by the way, covering that after the grab. Shulk does really well against Shulk does really well against Game Watch and Luigi because of that range advantage. I don't know how much of an impact that will have in doubles. The dynamic probably changes just because there's two characters instead of one. You can't just get spaced out.
Right, and you can see it like this. Like usually double goes like this. Like there's two people fighting on each side, so like you get a lot less space to play around with, and Shulk kind of needs that space to play preemptively, right? But in the meantime, I would say he's fine for now because we are on a big stage. P2 in this case, he has all the space to move around and do his thing, pretty much.
Wow, up tilt, not going to take the
dash
stock.
attack. Wonderful response, actually.
Ezra's lost his stock on his last stock. Both members of the blue team on their last stock, whereas red team only lost one. What is going on there? I don't think that's the intended outcome for the red team. But he finds the Space finds the up B, ends up losing his stock. Here we go. This is the 2v1 time. But 2v1s can't really happen when it's Shulk. There's no hit stun for you to have it their way. Shulk is actually incredible in teams just for that reason. You can't get 2v1. You just go short up. I don't know, man.
In the meantime, they're definitely trying to make it back. Because like red team was definitely having the lead in the first place, and now it's just like one spark apart. But Bier is a very high dangerous percentage, and he's up against Pyra and Shulk. And as you can see, that back air takes it for the eye, unfortunately, as well. But like, there's not much you can do as Game & Watch being in that case. You could just die just to anything Pyra throws out. In the meantime, Ezra is trying to make it back, but very unlikely in the case of like he cannot do his 0 to deaths because he has to deal with like Shulk and Pyra just being ready to kill him for anything, pretty much.
Yeah. It's these distance demons, man. They're keeping this poor plumber at bay. Ezra can't get in at all. Bye-bye. Game 1 going to Ramses in space. It looks rough for the blue team because they're both just consistently getting outranged out space. You can't get in against those huge swords. I wonder how they change things up, and I don't really know what they can be doing.
Oh, I would assume like in the first place, it's definitely a smart idea to try and see what they're banning like the first off, and then go for a smaller stage. It's like now Pyra and Mifra had the space to play around, and Shulk had the space to play around and space out these scrappy characters, and they didn't really get the chance to like show off their buttons in the meantime. And they're like really dominant in this close range. I would assume like Ramses in space would probably ban like small battlefield or like Smashville and FD probably as well, which is pretty smart decision, I would say.
Yeah.
And otherwise, they might go to Yoshi's, for example.
Yeah, I made fun of them for not striking for not just going PS2 gentlemen's. But you're right. I think the blue team need to be able to scrap. So Hollow Bastion's slightly smaller. It's going to work out for them in that regard. But the aim for blue team is just to get up and like throw out the fast frame to abuse that. Like for example, like the frame 3 up B from Game Watch. Everything that Luigi has to offer up close like that's the space you want to be playing in. So it's on red team to sort of keep them at bay. Use your range advantage throw out those retreating areas, and also just cover your teammate if one member of the red team's getting blended. You step in, break that combo. And here we go.
But yeah, as we're speaking, like Luigi immediately started getting blended. Here to interrupt with the nair, but as you can see, like a little bit like it's definitely helping out having less space for them to play around with the sorties.
Wait.
And wonderful response by an actual egg, just getting the up B immediately.
Do it again.
Rip. Yeah, that was definitely like a part of the plan as well. Like Bier just getting the jab, like locking him down, and he could like buffer the up B and kill him for it. It's actually like a really smart way to like get the stocks early and all that. Yeah. But as you can see, in the meantime, Ezrah and Bier are having the lead in the process now as a result.
Yeah, maybe the dynamic changes. I don't know. I think we need more of the same. You have to fight like blue team has to find their way in and then get like really early kills to make up for it, because you're blue team are considerably lighter, as you see. Bier just getting obliterated by a straight higher aerial. So you need to be killing Shulkin and Aegis very early as well.
At least with Shulk, you can like kind of play around it.
Oh no, Ezrah. What's going on here?
It's very unfortunate with the edge guard right there. He had the plan down, but unfortunately fell out of the multi-hit and just like got gimped as a result, which actually is huge in this case, because now that finally red team has the lead again, but they're both in kill percent, so anything can happen right now.
That is absolutely right. Red team has to be very careful here. Any stray back air from Luigi, any like up smash. It's hard though for red team to get to blue team to get in. Is that a down air? Just a reversal, not getting your advantage cooking in the right way, and you're gonna die for it. You have to be so careful in situations like this. Oh my god, you're dead at 86% after the hit. Oh lord, Pyro down air, man. Pyro down air. Oh.
She needs it. She needs it.
Absolutely.
And a wonderful thing about the Power Downer as well is like it's safe, it's huge, it can kill by itself as well. On top of that, it auto cancels with the short hop on top of that. So it's like it's such a wonderful neutral tool on top of like the up air and the back air and the forward air and nair on top of that. Power has such good moves. But in the meantime, we're just seeing like both of even stocks right now. Red team is responding pretty well to each other's advantage stage, just like making sure getting into damage as much as possible from each other, ping-ponging around. And in the meantime, just they're getting more and more of a lead.
Yeah. Red team are good at setting up those situations where they're both in the middle and they're keeping the other two at ledge. And it's so strong. When they're both strong ledge trappers, it's really effective. Like the blue team can't save each other. They're both in the corner. How do they get out? You get a grab on one, you get dash attacked, you lose your stock. Yeah, it's so hard for blue team.
The scary part as well, like you just saw Shulk there, standing there with like ready to smash with the forward air, nair, and all that. It would pretty much cover anything you take like from like the front. So you have to roll in that scenario, and then you just get caught by Pyro's F-tilt or dash back in that case.
That's the classic doubles ledge trap when you have that range, you can cover everything like that. Blue team, it's looking
it's a little rough right now.
That is it.
In the meantime, though, Ramses and Space are just taking more and more of a lead.
Brilliant save from Bier.
Definitely.
So needed.
Oh, wonderful air dodge to try and make it back. No tech, unfortunately. Dies because of it.
We do have a game on our hands here. Last stock for everyone involved.
That's very true. But in the meantime, Bier is pretty much by himself, and he's like 140% against Shulk in the ledge trap now.
Yeah.
Smash start online, and he just dies to there.
Nah, of all moves. Bye-bye.
He needs it. No, he doesn't actually need it.
No, he absolutely does not. Look at that, he doesn't need a smash shot when you can just get the jump part forward out of stage to hit the slap, man.